Hello everybody, this is Howard, the Teaser King, coming to you. Starting our baseball. The site is up and functional. Right now I'm just going to be simple, have a $15 a day, $50 for the week. We'll see, we'll play it by ear at this point. Like in football I have a monthly and a yearly. I'm not going to do that yet for baseball. Again, we'll play it by ear, but the site is up. Same thing, just go PayPal it, and then you'll get baseball picks as opposed to football. And had that big lock hit today, 10 unit. Took the under in the Detroit-Boston game. Sale against Verlander. Perfect, just as I thought. Very few hits in the game. And the bullpens didn't screw it up in the 8th and 9th. And a nice 2-1 game. So it worked out very nicely, under 7.5. So that's what I'm looking for. When you get two aces like that going against each other, you know, a high percentage of times, maybe 80 or 90%, maybe higher, you're going to get under. Nobody can hit these guys. And that's the key to baseball, is when you got a good pitcher, it's extremely hard to hit them. So that's what you're looking at, is very hard to hit. Pitching beats hitting every time. But when you get weak pitchers, then the hitters can light it up because there's a lot of mistakes. So what I'm doing is I'm ranking the pitchers, one, you know, the first guy, the second guy, the third, fourth, and fifth. So when I get the two aces going, we're going to bet under. When I get the two fifth pitchers going or higher, some of these teams have 6 pitchers, and then those are going to be pretty much over bets when 6 plays 6. And then when a Sale plays the 5th pitcher, we're going to take Sale, but usually that number is going to be 200 or 2.25. So it's a little bit different with the money lines. Unfortunately, there's no teasers. It would be nice to take the Cubs +7 and the Pirates +7 in a teaser. That would be nice in baseball. But right now, it's just the way it is. It's the pitchers is what you bet. So big winner today. Looking for that, and that's really, it's just breaking the pitchers down. Who's good at home, who's good on the road, and over or under, and it's just going to be the basis of it. So. That's really the key to baseball. I played it, so I know. When you can't hit a pitcher, you can't hit him. The problem is these teams will have the star out there, and then they pull him in the 7th or 8th, and the bullpen can't do it, and the bullpen lets up 4 or 5 runs, and that can screw your under. So that's why I like betting the weaker pitchers, because the weaker pitchers are going to give up 5, 6 runs a game, and they're not going to go to the ace in the bullpen. Like today, Detroit went to their ace. They held them to, I think 1 hit. But had the game been 6-5, they might not have went with the best pitcher. And then they end up losing, or giving up more runs like they've been doing. So you got to be careful. But in a 1-1, 2-1 game, they're going to come in with their ace and get the win. So anyway, that's what happened. Very excited today, hitting a big $1,000 play on the under in the Detroit-Boston game. So again, I got 4 plays, 5 plays maybe tomorrow, and it's early. As the season goes, I'll start picking up trends on the pitchers. So right now, I know Verlander and Sale are going to be very hard to hit. It's the off pitcher, the 3rd pitcher, the 4th pitcher, who all of a sudden is a superstar. Or, when Kershaw goes, I know he's going to be an under. If he were to face Sale or Verlander, that would be a lock under there too. Nobody's getting a lot of hits. But it's the other pitchers that I'm trying to track. I know there's some pitchers on, some of these teams, like, let's take Houston. I mean, Houston's got McClure goes under, Morton goes under. So these are their 2nd, 3rd pitchers, but it's too early. I don't have enough data yet. I like to crank my stats, as you know, and look for my trend analysis. So if I see a pitcher like Morton 4 or 5 unders in a row and he faces a good pitcher, that's going to be a very strong underplay. So you just look for the strong pitcher that makes you money. Like Porcello, he had a bad outing yesterday, so you got to keep that. Is he last year's pitcher or this year's pitcher? And it's like I do in every sport, football mostly. It's that first 4 or 5 games in football to really get the, okay, are they like last year or have they changed? Have they brought in free agents and they've made the team better? Well, it's the same in baseball. Is the pitcher going to be, is Porcello going to go 22-4? Verlander looks strong. Sale, you don't worry about. Kershaw, you don't worry about. Baumgartner. So you've got your aces. It's the other guy who you're like making sure his ERA stays at 2. Because what happens is the name comes out and he has an ERA of 5 this year, but you still think he's got an ERA of 2. And you start betting him and he loses, or you bet the under on him. He's giving up 5 a game, so it's very hard to bet it. So that's why you got to look for the first, give it that first month, and then you get a better feel of the pitchers. But right now, when it's an easy, 2 nobodies, we're going to go over, or like today, 2 aces that are really, that are aces, then you can bet the under on it. So it was a nice, easy 1-0 into the 7th, 1-1 into the 8th, and that's what you like in a 7.5. And even if it goes to overtime in baseball, it's 1-1, it's going to go 2-1, not like college football where they score 15 touchdowns in overtime. It's the stupidest overtime I've ever seen. And I get really sick of this football well, they need to get the ball, and then, so it's only fair the other team gets it. No, it's not fair. You had a whole game. Right now, it shouldn't be that easy to score. Play defense, and especially in the NFL, I think it's a joke. Oh, well, we got to make sure the other team gets it. It's like, what do you want to get a winner, or do you want to just keep going back and forth? Anyway, so baseball's overtime. Normally it'll be 1 run, maybe 2, and that's it. So in a situation like we had today, if the Tigers went 1-1 into overtime or extra innings, it probably still would have been 2-1 or 3-1, and that would have been it. Because it's not easy to score in baseball. Anyway, Teaser King coming to you. Starting off really strong. Again, you can purchase daily or weekly. In the weekly, if you purchase the weekly, if you bought today, it'd be the next 7 days. It's not Sunday through Monday. It doesn't end Monday night like football does. It's an everyday thing. And so I'm going to be tracking bullpens and pitchers very carefully, and injuries. Boston had 2 starters out, so that made it even more likely they were going to go under. So you watch that also. So I'm looking at certain teams. Are they over or under teams? And I'll look at their runs and their pitchers. And some teams are just, they hit good and they have no pitching, and we're going to pound those teams over. And the other teams that can't really hit, but they got good pitching, maybe like a Washington, who's got great pitching and doesn't hit that much, except for, Bryce Harper. I mean, so if he gets hurt, then, hey, let's start betting Washington under. So anyway, that's kind of what we're looking for. And again, I've been watching probably for about 4 or 5 years baseball, but this is the first year I'm actually handicapping it like this. I've been kind of pretend handicapping, like you pretend to play the stock market, where I have $50,000 in pretend money. Here's how I would play it. So I've been doing that for baseball. So and with my football. With my football mindset and handicapping methods, the over-unders work a lot like they do in football, over teams, under teams, and then you still got to look at the line. If the over-under is 4, you're not going to play it under, but usually 7.5 I think is the lowest, maybe a 7. Kershaw might get a 6.5 or something, but generally that's it. Anyway, have a great great week. And again, Teaser King, www.teaserking.com. Hits the big one today, and looking forward to that. And I won't lock it, I'll lock when appropriate, as I always do. I don't lock the lock, but there's no fee for the locks. It's just part of the package. You buy the week, and I could have 3 locks in the week. I could have none. I could have 5. It depends on the pitching matchup and the team and the injuries, just like always. So anyway, have a great week. www.teaserking.com. Baseball.